Hi, everyone, and welcome to the special simulcast of the Neil Haley Show and celebrity interviews live from the grotto with Greg Hanna. Greg, what's going on, man? How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing fantastic, Neil. How about yourself? You excited for today?
Oh, I'm excited because I mean, it looks like Chris and I have not aged in 3 years. I got to go find that interview on YouTube somewhere. But I had Chris Mulkey on before, and we hit it off. He played music on the show as well. Remember, I had you play a rendition. I think it was almost like an hour interview. But Chris, thanks for stopping by again. And hopefully, we'll ask different types of questions because we're more talking about the projects. But you're doing great, aren't you, Chris?
I am. I've got a ton. When other actors, and I'm thankful. It's nice to be here with you and Greg. But Neil, I'm really thankful that I've been able to act so much in the last year. I have three movies coming out. If you have Amazon Prime, I have two, and the third one is coming up. And I'm going to do a horse movie in April. And yeah, I'm busy. I'm busy.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you even busier, Chris. That's for another time, another place. But go ahead, Greg. I know Greg's excited to talk with you, and I think some of these shows he's been on, you're a favorite of fan favorites, aren't you, Greg? Some of
Oh, for
them.
sure. Definitely. Definitely. I always enjoy watching Chris whenever he's in in anything really. So Chris, in Twin Peaks, what inspired your portrayal of Hank
Uh,
Jennings?
Hank Jennings, yeah. Okay, since it's just you and me and Neil here,
And all my millions of
um,
listeners. That's okay, but that's okay. Go.
yeah. I'll keep that under my hat, Neil. I had a they sent me the interview of they sent me the sides, we call them sides, the scenes I was supposed to read, and there were two characters, Jacques the Cajun guy and Hank Jennings, and I knew a guy, Steve, who was he did 9 years in San Quentin. I know a lot of people. I have some friends. So he went away because he robbed this place, armed robbery, you know, and he shot somebody. So, but I knew him after he got out, not before any of that went down. And I thought, wow, Hank is a lot like Steve, because Steve was a great liar and a real affable guy and a real charming guy, but he was super dangerous. I mean, super dangerous. And I met him through the San Quentin Theater Project and Samuel Beckett and a friend of mine, John Jacobs. But that's his backstory. So I thought, well, I'm going to take the best parts of Steve and include him in Hank Jennings. And so I went to the meeting, and one thing led to another. They actually, Greg, they wanted me to read for Jacques, the Cajun guy, and Hank. And I went in there. They said, which scene do you want to read first? I said, well, I'm not going to read the other guy. I'm just going to read Hank, because the Cajun guy, Okowitz, is sitting out in the lobby. He should be the guy. He should be the Cajun guy. I should be Hank. So I read Hank and bang. That was it. So cool.
Perfect.
So you tell directors whatever you want, then, right? Especially casting directors. You're like, I'm doing this.
I'm polite, but you look, if you want something, you might as well just ask for it, And then if they have a problem with that, well, then that's okay. Then we'll do it that way. But I always go, not for nothing. Why don't we do this? And then people do it. It's good ideas. It all comes from a good place. Yeah, I was lucky, and
Wow.
I dug doing the guy, and you know, and I haven't talked to Steve since. So.
So, Captain Phillips, is there like a memorable moment filming that you could share with us?
Yeah, Greg, there is. But it wasn't on film.
Oh,
It wasn't on film. Well, first of all, I play music. You could go to chrismulkeymusic.com and listen to all my stuff. I just did music for a movie. Music by Chris Mulkey. Wow. But anyhow, when I got Captain Phillips, they called me up 2 weeks later and said, Chris, there's a problem. I went, oh no, the film died. He said, no, we're not going to shoot it in New Orleans anymore. And I went, oh, we were shooting in New Orleans, because that's where my music friends are. And they said, no. And I said, well, are we shooting it? Yeah, we're shooting it. Where are we shooting it? In Malta. And I went, Okay, Malta, cool. And I hung it up and I went, Malta, where the hell is Malta? You know, and it's over Libya. So we're over there and we're at sea because we're on a real ship, you know, 50 feet above the water, and it's real. So I have Bakard, the Somali pirate captain with the rubber knife, and I'm, you know, wrestling him down the gangway, and he was wearing a canvas vest that's all sewed together, a real rugged canvas vest, real deal. And at one point, he struggled with me, and the railing was just about like hip high, and then 50 feet to the water, and then you're pretty much dead because you get sucked under the ship, you know.
Yeah.
So he goes, he struggled with me, and he broke loose. I wasn't ready for it, and but I shoved him and just shoved him off me and spun him away into the railing. And before I knew it, his heels were up in the air and his head was below the railing, and he was gone. He was gone. And you know, I went my old wrestling technique. Thank you, Neil. My old and I grabbed the vest because he's not but like 150 pounds, and I jerked him back up on deck, and he looked at me and went, "Thank you, brother." It was
Wow.
so close to being. It was bad, but you know, it was a neat. It was a jerk reaction. So that was great, you know. And also, he won the British Academy Award for Best Actor, and it was great working with Tom Hanks. And the movie made a bunch of money, so that's great, you know.
So what was your role in Captain Phillips?
I played John Kernan. I played a real guy who I met, who's honest to God, we look like we could be brothers, and our personal rhythms and everything like that are pretty much the same. So it was really kind of spooky. We both, you yeah. But John was the third engineer who was the guy who kind of was the enforcer below decks, and captured the captain, the pirate, the Somali pirate captain, and you know, put glass in the hallway so they'd cut their feet. But he didn't want to fight at first. John didn't want to have anything to do with. They just put me off. I don't want to have to shoot Somali pirates. I'm just a mariner here, and
Right.
yeah.
Hmm.
But he was the
Wow.
guy.
That's crazy. So another really cool favorite movie of mine, First Blood, that you were in, and that was a cool movie.
Yeah, I just watched that recently. Why? My girl Dana Sparks, my fiance Dana Sparks, um, she had never seen it.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know why, or hadn't seen it in a long time. So we watched it, and Sly is so good in that. He should have gotten Best Actor that year. He was great. But that was really fun. We were on that show for 4 months up
Wow.
in Canada.
You know, I love the First Blood in so many ways. And I know you have the story you told on my last time you were on the show. But did you really build a relationship? Do you still talk to Sylvester Stallone at all? Or
No, I run into her every once in a while, but run in different circles. But you got to give him credit. You know, he's created 4 franchises. You know, he's Rocky, Rocky, First Blood, and then the Expendables, and now what is the boxing movie now? He's made 3 of the boxing movies.
oh, the one after Rocky, the one that he ended up getting kicked out of and said he didn't want to act in it anymore. But I guess he still has a piece of that. What?
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
And this goes out, and this gives a shout out to an actor that I worked with who played Apollo Creed in the Rocky franchise.
Oh yeah.
Carl Weathers, who lived maybe a mile from me in Marina Del Rey, and I'd see him in the neighborhood, and we worked together in Chicago. And he was a wonderful athlete, wonderful football player, and actor, and just a solid, intelligent, caring guy. And I heard that he passed away because we're contemporaries, you know, and I heard he passed away, and I was in my car, and I just went, no, because I'd seen Carl at the drugstore at CVS, over in the marina. And every time we saw each other, we'd talk for half an hour and just like, nah, you know, because it's like catching up.
When am
Anyways,
I going to go hang out with you? That's what I'm saying. You know, he's talking about name dropping all these different people, and that, and see, if you look at all those people that's they know in Hollywood, and he lives on Venice in Venice Beach. We'll go to that in maybe a little bit more of the topic. I wanted to bring up one thing: the competitiveness between Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger. I watched Arnold Schwarzenegger's documentary, and on it, and Arnold's documentary talked about how they competed against each other. It sounds like they were trying to compete each other with franchises and who could make more money too. Except Stallone
yeah,
never ran for
governor. Yeah,
governor.
the one guy who got the guy who got elected governor, Schwarzenegger, wasn't as successful as a governor as he is as an actor, and yeah, it was better that he went back and stuck with acting. You know, he didn't. California didn't fare very well under his administration. We had some problems, but you know, hey, I admire his work, and it's great. They're both really great. Great. I've met Arnold, and I've seen him at the beach, and I ran into him places. And nice guy, though. I mean, really a caring guy. You know. But Sly, I got to give it to Sly. I think Sly wins. And Sly was also doing the Tulsa thing, the TV show. I mean, come on,
Mhm.
Sly.
He's really got his hands, but he's learning it. A lot of these guys see that once they have a brand that never disappears, because a lot of people, they just utilize it to get in other projects and keep going. It's,
Yeah.
it's
I,
really it
I
is.
I
Yeah,
have a great movie coming out the 7th of March called Rock Bottom. Speaking of franchises and stuff, it's a 90s hair band reunion. There's like White Snake, you know, that those power ballads.
yeah.
And Jake Bon Jovi, John's son, plays this young singer who doesn't quite know how to be a rock star, and so they hire me. Um, I'm called the Hand, but I'm really Rick Rubin. I'm the philosopher of rock and roll bands, and I teach them how to be a rocker. And it's a great movie. So I think we have a premiere at the Real Hollywood Film Festival on the 24th Saturday, and then it goes in theaters and vertically distributed and Amazon Prime. So it's called Rock Bottom. So it's a great. I have long hair. I'm dressed in leather. So great.
Totally.
So yeah, keep doing stuff. You know, it's great.
That's fantastic. That's good. It's like, you know, Clint Eastwood, 91 or so, and, you know, still making films, and you know,
Well,
that's the way to go.
I may have told Neil this story, but you know, I was when I was a young filmmaker, I think I was like 22, and I went out to the American Film Institute in Hollywood, and kind of hung around there. I produced a film, and I brought it there, and I wanted to be a fellow at the institute, but I didn't have enough juice in town to get in. So, but I hung around, and I was a stage actor, but I didn't know anything about filmmaking. So I did everybody's thesis films. And one day, this cowboy actor from Rawhide and A Few More Dollars, and you know, Clint Eastwood shows up, and he's doing a seminar in it's in the Greystone Mansion, which is in the big parlor there. It's a big mansion before they moved, and so I said, well, I'm going to go over and see it. So Marty Brest, who was the director, and Ray Sharkey and me, the three of us were hanging around. We went over there, and there was literally 10 people that showed up to see Clint. You know, I've done a bunch of these going around town, you know, going around the country, and I have seminars and talk to students about, you know, how can you get over? And so 10 people there. So he went around the room and said, what do you want to do? And he came to me, and I said, well, I want to get over as an actor in Hollywood. He said, write your own movie, star in it, and don't direct it, produce it, and he'll be fine. Do it, make it a feature. So I went back to Minnesota and told my friend, and we wrote a movie, and we won Sundance.
Wow.
Wow.
Is that movie still available that you can find it? The
Um,
one
yeah,
on Sunday?
yeah, it's called Loose Ends. It's a 106-minute black and white film about these meatball mechanics, and then 10 years later we did another movie, same crew, same writers, called Patty Rocks that won the grand prize at Sundance again, and then won and played all over the world and made a bunch of money. So it's great. So Patty Rocks was really great with my late wife, Karen Landry. So yeah, but that was all because of Clint. Yeah. So Loose Ends and Patty Rocks. Yeah.
Very cool. What was the most challenging aspect of working on Whiplash that you think?
Whiplash, I get a call and my agent said, Damien wants to talk to you. I said, "Who, Damien? Really?" Yeah, he won Best Short at Sundance. He wants to make a feature film. And I went, "Oh, okay. All right. Well, he wants to talk to me. Okay, great." So we went to have coffee in Venice here, and he wanted me to play the uncle. And I went, "Okay, I'll do it." He had no track record. He's just this guy, a really nice guy, a really smart guy, and challenging. Well, that was my scene was the first scene that they filmed of the movie. Well, Paul Reiser and me and the whole family there. And it was, yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was challenging. It was sure fast paced because I don't know how many movies you guys have been in, but when you have a big family scene and everybody's talking and they have to cover it from here and here and here and here and here, man, it was crazy to keep the rhythm going, and make it happen. And that was fun. And we shocked everybody by winning 3 Academy Awards. Yay.
Wow. So you were there. That's got to be wild to be part of a film that was an Academy Award winning film, right?
Yeah, I've done it too. Yeah, Captain Phillips and Whiplash. And then I was in another film that won an Academy Award called Nanking. Bill Guttentag did a kind of a documentary. Me, Woody Harrelson, Sissy Spacek. It's about the Japanese invasion of China in the early 30s in World War II. So yeah, it's nice to be involved in it. But they didn't give me an Academy Award. I think, Neil, everybody who is in an Academy Award winning film, everybody should get a statue.
Yeah. Yeah, but at least you can put that in your bio, Academy Award, somewhere in the bio, just saying you're a part of that. Okay, he's a vicious heel, by the way, bad guy, Greg. I watched him after interviewing him 2 years later. I'm watching a movie and I'm watching The Purge, and he went in that house and he was vicious. Which Purge movie was it? That was the second Purge or the first?
The first. It's the first movie, The Purge. We were the Halversons.
Yeah, and they walk in as neighbors and they act like they're going to be their friends and they're looking to kill them. They were not going to let them survive because they hated that neighbor because that neighbor was the one that sold all those security systems. And no, you're getting it. You made all this money. It's time to get even. And that's all you were thinking about was getting even. Is the bad guy your thing? Do you like being the bad guy more?
I like playing the bad guy. In fact, when we're done here, I have another Zoom meeting at noon Pacific time to play another really hero in evil, but I can't talk about it, of course, because it's not up. But I was a bad guy with Robert Duvall in Broken Trail too, with a Western that Walter Hill directed. Yeah, bad guys are fun, Neil. I like bad guys a lot.
I like being a heel more. As I coming back in wrestling, I'm going to be a bad guy, not a good guy.
Yeah.
When you're 6'10", 7 foot, that being a baby face doesn't work.
No,
they don't want that. They want the little guys to win, or the pretty boys, and that's not me, Greg. I'm not a pretty boy.
We talked, Neil, about going back to my fascination with wrestling when I was a kid in Minnesota because they had where I grew up because they had a big professional wrestling kind of enterprise going there, a circuit, and Vern Gagne was the little guy. He was like my size. I think he was 220, but he was a scientific wrestler and he was super fit and he was a national champion and stuff like that. But but all these guys like Crusher Kowalski, and you tell Gagne when he's in the ring, I will rip his head off. Come here, give me that microphone.
Yeah, see, Gagne, if you watch the story of AWA, it's crazy. Oh my gosh, when they go into the whole territory and how Hogan totally dropped the ball and left them and went to Vince. And that really got Vern mad.
That was a betrayal.
Hmm.
Betrayal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
completely.
I have friends back who are in the wrestling scene in Minnesota who are world champions and Midwest world champions, and yeah, it's really cool. I mean, I love all that. I think that may have been my entry to drama. I mean, I went to theater school. I went to the University of Minnesota and studied acting and did five years of classical repertory theater, but my heart, I think, was awakened by professional wrestling.
No, totally.
I think it was, it's great, it's really fun.
To not be considered retired pro wrestler, but I'm still retired till I get back in the ring. And we're looking at, I think, May potentially, but definitely September. I'll be back in the ring for sure.
I'm coming. I'm coming. Wherever your printer is, I'm flying in.
All right. I love it. I love it. We'll definitely do the autograph signing. Okay, go ahead, Greg.
Bring in my posse. Bring in my posse. Yeah, I'm little now. I'm down to we talked. I'm down to, I think I weigh like a little over 200. I was 230 at one point. I did a stage production of Requiem for a Heavyweight, so I played a heavyweight boxer. And when I was a kid, I was in Golden Gloves and stuff. And then when I did the play, I got big, and I stayed big for a while, and then I just got skinny again. It's weird. It's sort of, but now you're going back in. I think I'm too old. I think
you're not too old. Ric Flair's still wrestling.
Ooh.
I'll wrestle you in a match. Ric Flair's got his final match, I think, or he already had, but he'll be back again. 75. Harley Race knocked me out in one show where we're doing this, and I don't know how old Harley was 20 years ago before he passed away. God rest his soul. And I wrestled George the Animal Steel this late time before he died too.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'm not too old. I can be the sneaky sidekick.
I like that.
Put the mask on.
Where did he come from? Oh, Mulkey's back in the ring. Where did he come from? Yeah. Yeah, I have a movie that's on Amazon Prime called Far Haven, and it's a great Bailey Chase is in it, and me and Bruce Boxleitner. It's an 1880s Western, and I'm the bad guy. So everybody go out there and watch Far Haven.
I was scared of you in The Purge. So Greg, you have to check out The Purge, but all right.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a scary one for sure. That's awesome. Chris, what's your favorite bad guy character that you played, and why are you going to pick this one?
Wow. I think my favorite bad guy was the Western I did with Robert Duvall, Broken Trail, because Big Ears Ed Bywater, because there's horses and guns, and I've done like I think 12 Westerns, and I always liked the horses and guns, but Ed Bywater was sneaky and just great. He was a great character. He walks into a saloon, and Rusty Schwimmer is there, and she's the saloon manager and also / working girl, and she goes, "Well, hello, Ed. Good to see you. I bet you want a bath and a good bed to sleep in." He said, "No, I want a bottle of whiskey and some trim."
Yeah,
and that word back in the day that's to trim is for you unindoctrinated. Trim is a word for romance.
Okay. That's right.
Now, so are you going to get that Academy Award at one point? Playing Vince McMahon, that's what's going to happen. You're going to play Vince McMahon and get an Academy Award.
I'd love to. I'd go back up. I'd go back up to like maybe 220. Because Vince kind of. I think you can tell me this, Neil. Did Vince do any juice? Did he?
I think we pretty much. I won't say it because again, I'm going to be having Linda on my show in a few weeks. Don't ever want to badmouth Vince. But yeah, they all were working out a lot. You know, The Rock, if he's natural, then yeah. But I won't bring anything up about Vince. Because again,
No.
I don't care if Vince has heat. I'd have Vince on my show anytime as well. Vince, you're welcome to come to the red carpets with us and all that. So if I get heat for that, I don't care. That's it. But Greg has his final question, the celebrity question.
Go, Greg.
All right, Chris, here we go. I can't wait to hear the answer to this one. But so tell me, Chris, what do you think or feel is the most important thing in life you've ever learned?
Family. Family. And loyalty to your friends. You know, it's good to have someone who you can call up and go, am I crazy or what? Or be in a situation where, things are bad when I was younger, and you can turn to your buddy and go, I got this guy, you got that guy? So that's a greater definition of family. But I'm grateful for my two kids and my late wife, and it's family and loyalty to your friends. I mean, that's all it is. And everything else just comes to you after that. Very important. Yeah.
Great stuff. Greg, again, this is a great guy. Definitely Chris will be on a bunch more as we're going to be doing some projects together. And I think I want to be coming to Philly in March. So you got to tell me when we get off air. But everyone check out all his movies. So quick list of movies people need to check out now that you're promoting. Which ones would they be, Chris?
That would be Farhaven and Deadland, which is a border drama with me and Julio Cedillo. Deadland's a great. I'm really a bad guy in that movie too. So, and then Rock Bottom, and then there's a new movie coming out called Long Shadows, which is an 1880s Western as well. So Farhaven, Deadland, Rock Bottom, and Long Shadows. Four movies, and I'm going to go do a horse movie in 5 minutes. No, in the first of it.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks, Chris. All right, that was a special simulcast of the Neil Haley Show and Celebrity Interviews live from the Grotto. Greg Hanna. Take care, guys.